If it's not the dogs barking like crazy from the neighbor's yard next door while I'm trying to do these live video blogs, it's the damn Russians constantly hacking into the feed and cutting it just as soon as I get on a roll. Anyway, this is the 420 report, part 2 for Thursday, May 30th, Throwback Thursday. You can see the other live video blog if you just scroll down on my profile page below. I already went over the show dates. I'll go over the audience builds here. This Friday, June 1st, tomorrow night, I'll be working with Mr. Lucky himself, Dobie Maxwell, at the Uptown Bar in Crystal, Michigan. Shout out to Darlene and Amy Lynn and everybody there at the Uptown Bar. Shout out to Mr. Lucky, Dobie Maxwell, who was my guest yesterday on Hump Day Happy Hour with a headliner. Shout out to you guys joining me in right now for part 2 of the 420 report. Those damn Russians interrupted the news feed earlier. Hit me up with a comment or a question so that way I know you're here. A lot of people just put like the little googly eyes or a thumbs up or a wave or something like that. I'll give you a shout out. But I'm hanging out here on my patio porch. It's 95 degrees out, and normally the dogs would start barking like crazy as soon as they hear me talking my shit out here at full volume. And but earlier, hey Jeremy, Uncle Sideball, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. I was just about to tell a story about how I got my start in show business. It kind of involves you a little bit. Carolyn's here. Ashton, what's up? Guys, also, let me give you a reminder on this. Since Ashton Dillon is joining in, let me make sure tell all of my Central Iowa fans, friends, and followers that tonight is Ladies' Night at the Junkyard Bar and Grill. A real sweet, cool place to party. It's a junkyard-themed bar. They've got some great prime rib. I think they're taking the week off this week on the prime rib, but it sells out pretty much every week. So head on out there. It's just outside of Fort Dodge, the Junkyard Bar and Grill in Barnum. Hey Jennifer, what's up? How's Woodson these days? How's the Triangle Bar doing down there? Hit the share button, and I'm going to let you in on this idea that I was ranting and raving about before the Russians cut the live feed on the previous 420 report today. And that is somebody out there who knows somebody or knows how to do this themselves that can design an app. I've got a great freaking idea. And maybe I'm just totally hopped up on caffeine and losing my mind, but it's a free coffee app, all right? I'm so freaking nuts for coffee. Up to a year ago, I didn't even drink it. It tasted like burnt dirt water to me. But now I can't get fucking enough coffee, man. I think about drinking it morning, noon, night. Right? You know what I'm saying? And I know it's not that good for you. You know, I'm probably addicted to the caffeine by now, and it makes me go crazy. But I've had more creative thoughts since picking up the coffee habit than I've had my entire freaking life. That includes up to the very first time I got drunk and started smoking pot. Those days are freaking gone, man. Coffee days are now in. Coffee's the new fucking creative brain boost. So here's the idea. I notice there's all these places around town where you can get free coffee, like the bank, the library, the Jiffy Lube. There's all these places around. That's what I freaking love about this shit, man. It's fucking free everywhere. A year ago, I never would have stopped at Starbucks and got myself a cup of hot chocolate in the middle of the summer. I'm totally going to roll around with a cup of coffee. You kidding me, man? Somebody out there needs to come up with the free coffee app. It's like Google Maps, except with places around town that you can stop and get free coffee. You know, you have all the banks listed on there that give you free coffee, the library, you know, whatever, the insurance salesman, the real estate office, or any place around town that has free coffee where you get a little styrofoam cup, freecoffee.com or something like that. I don't know, whatever the app can be that you pull up on your phone, Google Map style, but it only tells you all the places you can get free coffee. If somebody can come up with that idea, it's probably $1 million idea. You can thank me later. If somebody can design that app, you can thank me later. It's $1 million idea. All right, hey, Uncle Sideball says coffee all day, every day. Carolyn, for some reason I'm not getting today on my smartphone, just keeps loading the stupid thing. It's because those damn Russians, I'm telling you, they're hacking into the feed. We got to do something about that. So it's Throwback Thursday. 25 years ago this week, I graduated high school, and here's my senior picture. This is my senior picture from Colfax Mingo, night class of 93. For what it's worth, I think that was our class song by Buffalo Springfield. And that was my also the same weekend that I got my introduction into the world of comedy, because in my yearbook, you know, a lot of people had written, Jeremy, you're so funny, you're hilarious, you should be a comedian. And I didn't really know what that meant. I mean, I'd seen a few episodes of Evening at the Improv on A&E. I'd seen MTV Half Hour Comedy Hour. I'd seen comedians do sets on Johnny Carson. Oh, hey, thanks for the comments, Stephen and Carolyn, and the shares. But I didn't really know, like, how do you become a comedian? I don't know anything about that. So everybody kept saying, you should be a comedian, you should be a comedian. And then that summer, I also needed to get a job. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I just called up the Funny Bone in Des Moines and just inquired about working there. Right? I'm like, yeah, I'm curious about getting hired. You know, are you hiring right now? And they go, oh, sure. What position are you interested in? Are you the box office, or can you wait tables? Do you have any experience with that? I go, actually, I'm thinking about position of a comedian. Like, that's just how you do it. You just call up the place like you apply like any other job. Oh, I was good in speech class. You know, I got All-State in improvisational acting. Everybody at my class thinks I'm funny. Look, they all wrote in my yearbook, you should be a comedian. You're hilarious. Like, that's going to get me the fucking job. But I didn't know what I was doing, man. I was only 18 years old. But the guy on the phone was like, oh, okay, you should come down here this weekend, and somebody will help you out with that. So I go down to the Funny Bone that Friday or Saturday night, and I roll in, and I introduced myself, and I mentioned that I'd called earlier that week, and that I was interested in a position as a comedian at the club, you know, at least just for a summer job. You know, I don't know, maybe there's some training program or something like that that they could put me in. To tell this story now, it sounds so retarded. How stupid was I, man, that's how I thought it was done. But what are you going to do? I was a farm boy from the middle of Iowa. I don't know how show business worked. So I go, and they're like, oh, okay, come on in, sit right here, watch the show. Somebody will come by and talk to you about it. Go ahead, order up some food and some drinks. So I ordered up like some nachos and, you know, well, I wasn't old enough to drink. I was only 18. So nachos and soda, sitting there waiting for the show to start. And like right as the show was starting, somebody came by and they asked me for my ID. And so I handed them my driver's license. I'm only 18 years old. You actually had to be 19 to get into the club. You had to be 19 years old to get in the club. So like, yeah, so you're going to have to pay this tab and go ahead and leave. So no training program for an up-and-coming, budding, wannabe stand-up comedian. Still got to pay the tab. Still got to pay your $12 for your soda and your nachos. And you don't get to see the show. You got to get the fuck out of here. You know, welcome to stand-up comedy. Hey, Ryan, what's up, man? Schultz checking in from Schultz's Compound. They're in James, Vegas, Wisconsin. I'll be heading you guys' way here soon, so spread the word on that. I think it's June 23rd, and then also again that coming next Thursday, June 28th, 29th, June 29th, I think it is. And Schultz's Compound, what a crazy fun time that was. Also June 23rd, Lawns Tailgaters. Tickets are on sale for that now, all right, and we're going to sell it out. So hit up Ryan Schultz. He just left a comment. Tag him personally. Send him a direct message. Go to Lawns Tailgaters. Hit them up with a like. They have all the event information over there. And I've got a lot of friends, fans, and followers in southern Wisconsin. So come see this show Saturday, June 23rd, Lawns Tailgaters. For the rest of you guys, thanks for being here with me today on the 420 Report, my daily live video blog. Head on over to barcomic.com. Get a copy of my CD. Totally baked, totally free. That is it for today, man. I'm roasting my ass off here in humid Iowa, 95-degree weather. And like I said, I'm so crazy about coffee, I will drink it hot even when it's 95 degrees out. I'm so freaking addicted to it. Somebody needs to come up with that app, the free coffee app. The free coffee, like MapQuest, but for all the free coffee places around town, like the bank, the library, the insurance place, Jiffy Lube, you know. Well, there's tons of places all over that have free coffee. Someone needs to come up with the app you can put on your phone and it tells you what all those places are. Freecoffee.com, whatever, I don't know, whatever you would call it. I don't know how that shit works, but I just thought I would definitely download that app if somebody could invent it. That's my idea. I'm just going to give that to you right here and right now. You're welcome. Could make you $1 million if you play it right. And shout out to everybody here for being here today on 420 Report. Carolyn, Johanna, Ryan, who else is here? Uncle Sideball. See, that's what I started doing. Ashton Dillon, head on over to Barnum, Iowa tonight for Ladies' Night. Half-price drinks, the Junkyard Bar and Grill. I got a lot of shit going on too, man. I got to hit up this fundraiser at Cold Stone Creamery for my kids' elementary school. I got to hit up this last hurrah that they're having at another bar here in town where I live. Then I'm going to hang out with some of my friends before I go on the road tomorrow for a show in Crystal, Michigan at the Uptown Bar and Grill, one of the monthly installments of the Grassroots Comedy Tour tomorrow night, featuring superstar Mr. Lucky himself, Dobie Maxwell. It's probably been 12 years since the tour. You know what? Actually, no, it hasn't been. It's been like 3 years. We did the World Bowl Super Series of Comedy at the Boxcars Pub and Grub in Clinton, Wisconsin, like in 2016. So just a couple years since Dobie and I shared the stage. Still, that's too long. That's too long. Hey, Todd Stein's here. Good to see you, man. I was just telling the story, and I showed this picture. This probably looks familiar to you. This is from my class of 1993 high school senior photo that was in the yearbook, and I think that they had up there on the wall at Central College there in the student union. I think they put all those pictures up there, if I can remember right. And that was my graduation weekend 25 years ago. This weekend, 25 years ago. And that's when I started doing stand-up comedy, but I wasn't old enough to even be in the Funny Bone yet. So they made me order food and drinks, paid my tab, and then kicked me out before the show even started. And I didn't know what I was fucking doing, man. But then it was my fraternity brothers from AZX that dared me to get on stage and put together another routine at the college talent night, which I did. And then I took that over to karaoke bars all across the state, rolling in Blues Brothers style, completely unannounced, not booked at all, talking my way into getting on stage, working for tips only, passing out business cards, acting like I knew what I was doing, and half the time having to completely win over the fucking crowd because they were there for karaoke. Then I got the gig at Adventureland. I saw a biography on Steve Martin where he got his start in comedy by doing street performing at an amusement park, Knott's Berry Farm. And so I'm like, well, shit, I can do the same thing. And then that's when I started doing the Comedy Wild West show. That's when I was doing the street performing at Adventureland. That's when I started dressing in the giant yellow dog costume and got the nickname Dog. And the rest is history. And now here it is, 25 years later. I'm heading to Crystal, Michigan for the Grassroots Comedy Tour. Not co-headlining. I was going to say co-headlining. I'm co-hosting. I'm guest hosting a special event, Grassroots Comedy Tour, with Mr. Lucky himself, one of my mentors in comedy from way back in the day. It is my sincere privilege to share the stage with him tomorrow night for one of the installments of the Grassroots Comedy Tour at Uptown Bar and Grill in Crystal, Michigan. And then I head over to Minster, Ohio for a show Saturday night at the Eagles Club. Next Friday, June 8th, Lawrenceville, Illinois at Basso's Grill. And next Saturday night, June 9th in Bay City, Michigan at AJ Bailey's. Where my Michigan fans? Michigan fans, spread the word. Bay City this Saturday night. The Mighty Dog returns with all new material. Because I pretty much made it completely up off the top of my head last time. Totally irreverent, improvisational, stand-up comedy. No two shows are ever the same. And if you want a free copy of my CD, Totally Baked. Hey, Todd, did you get your CD yet? Did you get the CD I sent you in the mail? Let me know. Have you given it a listen? Totally baked, totally free. Just go over to barcomic.com. It's got my best radio bits, prank phone calls, crazy heckler battles that I recorded. Woo! That's it for now. I'll be back on Monday with another live video blog at 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. God bless America.